Schools are supposed to be a safe place for a child to learn and grow, but sometimes that is not always the case. Violence in the classroom can happen, and it's becoming more common.
We are here to help everyone learn effective ways to handle violence in the classrooms. We will also cover what causes violence and how to prevent it too.
Well guys, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Before we talk about what prevents violence and the causes, maybe we should talk about what violence is. According to the Center for Prevention of School Violence is any behavior that violates the school's educational mission or climate of respect, or jeopardizes the intent of the school to be free of aggression against person or property, drugs, weapons, disruptions, and disorder.
There are also many different types of violence. Anything from bullying, to fighting, to vandalism, or sexual misconduct can be considered school violence. More serious types of school violence include bringing a dangerous weapon to school or a school shooting.
So there's these different types of violence, but what causes them?
Well, there's no exact answer to the question. Some say that the violence in video games is causing kids to be more violent and that it's transitioning into the classroom. Others say it could be intolerance or that students are not used to different races or cultures. It is harder for students to fit in when there are so many different students in school. Another theory is that the increased use of drugs and alcohol are causing teens to become more violent. These types of substances are also becoming easier for kids to get their hands on. How the media portrays these scenarios also does not help.
Wow, that's a lot of causes. No wonder 65% of public schools reported one or more violent acts in 2013 to 2014.
Well, one way to stop it is to try to prevent it from ever happening. If you believe a student is being violent or you believe that they will be, the best way to have the student step away from the situation and cool off in a safe place. The zero tolerance policy on bullying is effective too. Always stand your ground and make sure the student knows that the type of behavior will not be tolerated.
Okay, that is a lot of methods to prevent violence, but sometimes some prevention methods are not enough. What happens if violence does break out in the classroom?
That's a great question. Violence can happen at any time. So, what are effective ways to handle violence if it happens in your classroom? If you see two students start to have a verbal altercation in the classroom, make sure you stop it before it gets physical. Tell them that fighting is wrong and make sure you send them to opposite sides of the classroom to make sure the fight does not start up again. If two students start to get physical with each other, make sure you stop them immediately. Pull them apart and send them to opposite sides of the room. This will ensure the fight doesn't get too out of hand, like you see here. Again, make sure they know that fighting is wrong and keep them away from each other so they have time to cool down. In some cases, a small fight can become very dangerous if a student has a dangerous weapon. This can be hard, but try to keep the students away from the weapon and call the police and administration immediately. And no matter what you may think, this can happen in your future classroom.
That is true, and I experienced it firsthand. For my observation this semester, I was placed at Glenside Elementary in a 4th grade classroom. During my time there, I witnessed a physical and a verbal fight in the classroom. It started out as a verbal fight between a few students, but ended up being a physical fight between 2 of them. I tried to step in between the two and break it up, but the teacher told me to go get the principal instead. Once I returned a couple of minutes later, the teacher had still done nothing to end the fight.
There are all just examples on how to deal with violence. Just remember that not all situations will play out just like this. The best solution to violence is to be ready for when the situation arises.
No, the best solution is to try to prevent situations from escalating too much.
Don't you two stop fighting now. Either way, there are many things you can do to prevent violence in the classroom and control it if the situation does arise. The most important thing is to create a safe classroom. Creating a safe classroom for all students is hard work, but it's what all students need so they're able to learn properly.
We hope you learned something today and used some of the information we provided in your own future classrooms.
Thank you for watching, and remember, a safe classroom is a happy classroom.